So guys, this is a PZ30 carburetor and we are going to talk about this device. This is a motorcycle carburetor, and as you can see, there's some writing here. It's written PZ30. This is a carburetor suitable for motorcycles between the ranges of 175 to about 250 cc. So now, what is a carburetor? For those students who are taking notes, a carburetor is a mechanical device that is used to, number one, atomize fuel, and number two, mix it in the right proportions for combustion. The right proportions is the stoichiometric ratio, which is about 17.5 parts of air to 1 part of fuel, that is petrol fuel. Okay, so it is a mechanical device used for atomization of fuel and mixing it in the right proportions for combustion in an internal combustion engine. Now, let us go straight to the parts. As you can see from the outside, this is the part that connects to the accelerator cable, and you can see, just open it here. There is a spring attached to it, the spring that responds to the accelerator pedal, okay, to the accelerator handle on your motorcycle, this spring right here, as you can see. And on the inside, there, you can see there are a few things that we are going to talk about, but that will be on the internal components. Okay, so we come back to the outside. This is the idle mixture. This is the idling screw. Okay, so this idling screw, as you turn it on the inside, you increase the RPMs, that is the idling RPM, and turn on the outside, you are reducing the idling RPM. Okay, this is the part that attaches to the air cleaner. This part here attaches to the engine, and then this is the ball. This is the ball that usually collects some amount of fuel that usually gets used up by the nozzles, as we are going to look on the inside. Okay, and then this part here is used for draining if there is an overflow in the carburetor, or if you just want to check if there is fuel in the ball. Okay, so on the inside, I'm going to remove this screw very fast so that we get to see what happens on the inside. Now, on the parts on the inside, we have a few jets that we need to know about. Okay, I've removed the rest of the screws just to make this video a bit simpler. There's one more device. There's one more device here. This is called the choke, and as you can see, what happens when you're pulling this choke upwards, you are actually closing this part here, which actually, as you can see, it is on the side of the intake. So as you're closing it, when you're starting the bicycle in the morning, so sometimes you might need to choke the carburetor so that you have more air to fuel mixture, and then you bring it back to the open position for running. Okay, so back on the inside, we're going to remove this ball. Let us do it faster. Get this screw out. So this is the ball. This ball right here holds some fuel that is going to be used up by this. Nozzles here. Okay, and you can see we have two nozzles. This is called the main jet, and this one here is called the pilot jet. This pilot jet is usually responsible for starting up the bike and idling, and this one is usually responsible for running the bike on accelerator. Okay, so next to them we have the float valve. You see, it comes down, it comes up, as you can see being demonstrated there. When fuel is in the ball, this float goes up and closes more fuel from getting into the ball. And remember, the level of this float can be adjusted. As you can see, it can be adjusted so that you can have more fuel in the ball and you can have less fuel in the ball. You can check and see this is the acceptable level, because at this level, both the pilot and the main jet will actually be in a position to receive fuel from the ball. Okay, not too high and not too low. When you set this float too low, let's say it is at that point, you can see that your pilot jet will not be receiving fuel. Okay, when you set it too high, then it means that there'll be an overflow in your carburetor. One more thing that you need that we need to check here. There is this screw here. This is the air fuel mixture screw, and it actually opens up. It actually opens up on this small hole here on the side of the engine. And remember, this hole is connected to the pilot jet. It's connected to the pilot jet. So when you screw it outside, you actually open up this hole so that you have more air going into you have more fuel going into the engine and less air. That means you're making your mixture rich, or you're making your mixture lean. Okay, a lean mixture will give you less power, your bike will heat up, you'll have issues keeping up with the rest of the bikes in the traffic on the road. When you have a rich mixer, you'll have more power, but then you'll be consuming more fuel. You'll actually be getting the smell of fuel in the exhaust, okay? So we are done about the jets, we're done about the float. Now, when you come on the inside, you can see this plunger here. This plunger here is usually connected to the accelerator cable via this spring and this cover here. So, and as you can check on this plunger, here, there is a needle. This needle goes into the main jet, and you can see that hole there. So this plunger goes into that hole and closes off more fuel getting into your engine. When you pull it up, that's when you're accelerating, you're opening up this hole. You're opening up this hole and letting more fuel flow into your engine. Okay? So at maximum acceleration, it will be somewhere there. And when you're not accelerating, it will be down and it will have closed the main jet. So there'll be no fuel flowing into your engine. Now, as you can see the shape of this carburetor, when it is coming from the side of the air cleaner, it is thicker, and then it comes, narrows down into what is called a venturi, and then at the end of the day, at the end of this part, it goes into your engine. This narrowed part, which is called the venturi, its purpose is to make sure that you have air flowing at higher speed, so that you are able to pick up fuel from these jets. Okay. So we've discussed the inside, the outside of the carburetor. We've looked at the parts. We've looked at what happens on the inside. Now let us go to troubleshooting. Now, this is a very finicky device. I actually imported this device from China in an effort to try and make my bicycle perform better, but actually ended up running into more problems. So these are very finicky devices. There are so many adjustments that can be done on this simple gadget here, and there are so many things that can go wrong. Remember, that in a motorcycle that is using a carburetor, there is no such thing as a fuel pump, so everything is running through gravity. Fuel is coming from the fuel tank or running by gravity all the way to this pipe, or all the way to this entrance here, then through the valve that is being controlled by the float, then into the ball, then gets through these jets, then gets into the engine. So everything here is controlled by gravity, and so many things can go wrong. So number one, we have your fuel adjustment screw, air fuel adjustment screw right here. You just need to check whether you're consuming more fuel or you're consuming less fuel. Check your spark plugs if they are falling. Check out your exhaust if you're having a lot of soot going on inside there, and then smell the exhaust smoke, especially in the morning. If you're finding that it's a strong smell, like it's an arachnid smell trying to get tears from your eyes, then you need to make your mixture leaner. But if you're running on a very lean mixture, then remember your engine will be getting too hot. You'll not be having enough power. You'll not be able to keep up with the rest of the traffic on the road. Okay. These jets, as you can see, the main jet and the pilot jet, these jets can be replaced with jets that have different diameters, and The purpose of all this is just to regulate the amount of fuel that you are using. There is usually a number on this jet, and these numbers vary according to the diameter of these particular jets. Now, this one right here, the idling screw, this is the simplest thing that you can adjust on a carburetor. You just need to adjust it on the inside to increase the RPMs, or on the outside to lower the RPMs to a level above 1500 RPMs on my bike, which is usually ideal for most running situations. So I hope this has been an insightful lesson. I hope you've learned something about these carburetors. I'll be posting more videos as time goes. Thank you.